Congratulate the teams, and we will start our final game. Okay, the first speaker of the team proposition, Dream Decks, you are welcome. You have your 8 minutes.
Matter in human society would bring an everlasting of peace in the world. Peace in the world. Women are carried by love. Dear ladies and gentlemen, the motion of our today's game, matter, grants systematical development of the state, and we will prove it during our today's game. My name is Dustav Anvar. I am the first speaker of the affirmative team. Our second speaker is Arzi, and our third speaker is Maxim. We are Dream Decks. So, let's start from our criteria. Our criteria is prosper and welfare of the state in all spheres of life, dear ladies and gentlemen. The word that we will use, let's say, usually in our today's speech is matriarchy. What it means? Matriarchy, society in which females, especially mothers, have the central roles of political leadership, moral authority, and control of prosperity. But pay attention. When we are saying matriarchy, we don't mean total control of country. We just mean a little advantage to the women of control of country, ladies and gentlemen. So our argument is: first, naturally, women are more peaceful. Second, women are more responsible. Third, women care not only about material aspect, but also about mental development. First and second argument I will prove by myself, and third of our argument will prove Arzin. So let's start from our first argument. Naturally, women are more peaceful. Dear ladies and gentlemen, let's say we can see that in those countries who are controlled by the women, there is, let's say, no wars, there is no, let's say, some contradictions with another countries, dear ladies and gentlemen.
Fine, sir.
No thanks. And I won't say that those big wars, that those big contradictions with countries, so controlled by men, dear ladies and gentlemen.
Fine, sir.
No thanks. Just remember, First World War, Second World War. Who was, let's say, who was leader of these wars? Dear ladies and gentlemen, Stalin, let's say Hitler, they are men.
Point,
So
sir.
it's no thanks. Let's take as an example for our first argument Finland. The president of Finland from the 2000 was Terje Holonen. She cares a lot about old people, dear ladies and gentlemen. Who care in our country about veterans? Dear ladies and gentlemen, nobody. No thanks. Who care in our country about veterans? Who? Nobody, dear ladies and gentlemen. But we can see the situation in Finland. And this woman, Terje Holonen, cares about old people. She gives, let's say, pensions. She gives some abilities to develop for the old people, and she made a lot of, let's say, reforms. She made a lot of those things that, let's say, made her country on a higher level of economy, or a high level of, let's say, yes, please.
So you think that the main source of the economical development of the country are veterans?
No, we didn't think so. And I didn't say that we are thinking like that, dear ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention that I said that she just care about old people. I didn't say that veterans, let's say, the main part of the economy level, the main part of economy development, dear ladies and gentlemen. I didn't say so. So, in 1st March, no thanks. 1st March of 2001 year, after 1 year of being president, approximately 92% of whole, let's say, population of country said their positive reflection, and they claim that after just 1 year, dear ladies and gentlemen, situation in this country increased because the ruler, because the leader of this country was woman, dear ladies and gentlemen. She made a lot of reforms. She, let's say, make a lot of benefit for this country, dear ladies and gentlemen. In the end of this argument, I want to say that women are really more peaceful, are really more productivity, are really more, let's say, responsible. No thanks. Let's take our second argument, which can name women are more responsible, dear ladies and gentlemen. Since we are doing that all men are from Mars, women from Venus, it seems to us that women are naturally more suited to planning, saving, and accepting responsibility than men, dear ladies and gentlemen. This is an item of tradition that passed on from mother to daughter. Dear ladies and gentlemen, we are going to say the women, they are more responsible. We mean biologically, standing there, we are built to protect and feed children. They are built to, let's say, responsible, take care of their house, no things, of the home. They are built to make, let's say, to care about their children, about the development of the children, dear ladies and gentlemen. So, men aren't the, let's say, most attentive people on earth. So let's take a fact for this example, that women are more responsible than the men. In Philadelphia, in the 1989 year, groups of men, dear ladies and gentlemen, pay attention that it is well men. So they made a research, and they have results that a special hormone, which named resetocin, provides it's, let's say, responsible for human responsibilities. And this research proved, also this research made by men, that women have much this, let's say, hormone than a man. So, dear ladies and gentlemen, let's take as example also Angela Merkel. She is a woman, dear ladies and gentlemen. What she made? She made a lot of, let's say, reforms, dear ladies and gentlemen. She made a lot of things for her country. There was no contradictions. Yes, no, please. There was no contradictions with another country, dear ladies and gentlemen. She made a lot of good things, dear ladies and gentlemen. She helped her country to become a high development, to become the one of the leaders of the whole world, dear ladies and gentlemen. She, let's say, increased the level of economy, the level of, let's say, social status of the country, dear ladies and gentlemen. And I want to remember that our criteria was prosperity and welfare of the state in all spheres of life, dear ladies and gentlemen. During my speech, I really proved that women, let's say, more responsible, that women are more peaceful than the men. Material guarantees systematical development of the state, dear ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your attention.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the first speaker of opposition team. And from the very beginning, let me introduce my team. I'm the first speaker, Denis is our second speaker, Roma is our third speaker, and the right speech will be done by the next two. So, today we joined here to discuss a burning motion and issue of today's debate. And we have to finally prove you that patriarchy is very, very good. So, what we heard from the side of proposition? Veteran not give give country a status of prosperous country. But no, women are peaceful. Okay, but men are strong people. Men are those creatures that are capable and able to build economical, political, and political and social developed and progressive country. Women take care of children.
On the previous one, please.
Sorry. Women take care of children, but men take care of both, of women and children. So, first of all, I would like to decorate our points. We're going to talk about the. Today we're going to talk about the biological superiority of men. What I mean? I mean, critical thinking versus emotional mentality of women. The second point is a physical power. I mean that men are in more times stronger than women. The third point is a protection of the country. I mean, military. Just take this example. Military. They are responsible for their country.
Point of information, please.
Yes, please.
You are talking about military, but we don't think that war and everything that is connected with war is a way to protect our prosperity and welfare of the state. We think that only peace is a way to reach our criteria.
Okay, but I'm talking about that they are responsible. Exactly, men are responsible for their society. They do care of all society. So, sitting at home with children and doing household chores, the woman does not receive a proper education. They are not able to expand their horizons and to have a proper life. Husband, children, and all the members of the family don't have comfort, but they think just only about their responsibilities. The whole life, in this case, falls on the woman. In the financial sphere, life entirely and completely depends on the man. If the man in the family takes full responsibility, such as family can be sure and stable in financial position, the woman in this case do not have to worry about the future, about tomorrow. They not have to worry about this. They don't have to worry about how to feed children, how to earn money and something.
What is?
And this is completely clear that exactly the man will take care of them. Moreover, babies who are brought up with a man, that are brought in patriarchal families, see and notice and understand how important their fathers are. And from early childhood they follow father's example. And in such a way, really and responsible advanced children are brought up. And these children is a ground for development of economical, political and socially progressive country. In such a way, dear ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that today our team, my teammates will prove their team line, and now I assure that I proved to you that Petrograd can be beneficial for a society. Thank you.
First of all, let me start with not an example, but just let's think together. Let's imagine that our world is a big family, and who is always ahead of this family? Of course, the mother of this family is ahead of this family. And only mother knows better what are the best things for her children, what are the best things to do, what are the worst things that her children can do. And imagining the world as a big family, we can see that matriarchy is the only way to reach our criteria, which sounds as prosperity and welfare of the state in all spheres of life. I would like to start my speech from the refutation. As far as no clear arguments were said, I would just say that according to their speech, as they said, okay, it was really interesting, thank you for that, but no clear arguments, and refutation will be only based on what you said, not arguments. So you said that, first of all, your topic is exactly different from those ones that is our topic. We said that the resolution of our today's debate is that matriarchy guarantees sustainable development of the state. And when the first speaker came here, he said that Today we are going to prove you the theme, which sounds as patriarchy, is really good. I'm sorry, but we are playing different themes, different topics.
That point, madam. Don't you think that the patriarchy is the alternative to matriarchy, and it is the prototype of patriarchy is nowadays now, and we are facing the real progress, and therefore the matriarchy is a myth.
Thank you for your question, but we will discuss this question, is patriarchy good or bad, in our next game, okay? But the resolution of our today's game is exactly about matriarchy, and we should prove that matriarchy is a guarantee of sustainable development of the state, and you, as the side of opposition, are going to prove that we are not right. If you can, of course. So, you said about critical thinking of men, but all we know that in critical situations, women always know better what to do. They are not being afraid of those critical situations. Of course, men are roaring on saying, no, thank you. They're going to say, oh, I'm not afraid of anyone else. But if, for example, a fire starts, they're going to, oh my God, where should I go? And and women are much more responsible and much more patient in those cases. And as practice and as the real experience of the whole life shows. No, thank you. And he also said, the first speaker of the opposition team said about responsibility for military. Okay, but what does military mean? Military things are those things that are connected with war. And we don't think that you have that men should rule the country to control the military. We want women to control the country, to make the situation in which you don't need to think about war. You should only think that everything is okay. You don't have to think about war because you are living in peaceful society. You are living in peace, and there is no need for any military organization at all. And then you said that those families in which there are only men, I don't understand it very clear. Patriarchy, no, thank you. Patriarchy families are really good because boys in those patriarchal families, they look at their fathers and have a good example. And they are behaving like their fathers do. But you didn't say anything about those girls who are brought up in those families. There are also girls. Don't you think that it's also a major part of the society? And talking about my constructive speech, I would like to remind you our main criteria. Our main criteria is prosperity and welfare of the state in all spheres of life. From the side opposition, we didn't hear any refutation of our criteria, so we can think that they agree with our criteria. And the only way to reach this are next steps, that matriarchy should control all the country. Why? We have three main reasons. First of all, what do you need to for your country, for your state to be the best? You have the government. Those people who rule the country, they should be, first of all, they should be responsible. Secondly, they have to care about their people who live in this country, not only about themselves. And then they have to be peaceful. And all of these reasons are concerning women. First of all, arguments are that matriarchy guarantees sustainable development of the state because naturally women are more peaceful than men are. And we said that you don't need any military organizations if you want to live in peace. And we want to live in peace. Everybody of us wants to live in peace and not be afraid that maybe tomorrow will start a war. Maybe tomorrow will something bad happen in your life. We need guarantees for a better future. Our second argument sounds as matriarchy guarantees sustainable development of the state because women are more responsible. And it was even a scientific research that shows us. Yes, of course we can say that psychologically they are more responsible. All our life experience shows that. But if you want to be more clear, more exact, we can see that even scientific research in medicine they show that in women there are much more of hormones that provides responsibility of the person. Third argument. No. Women care not only about material things, but also about mental and moral development. And this argument fantastically suits our criteria that sound, as I would remind you more, prosperity and welfare of the state in all spheres of life. So, in all spheres of life, you should not care only about economics. Yes, of course, it's very and very important, but you should also care about mental state, mental situation in your country, about your situation in your country. Just think, 87% of teachers all around the world are women. What does it show to us? It shows that the bringing up of children, it's also concerning women. Women are those people who are bringing our children up. Doesn't it mean that we can rely on them? Doesn't it mean that we can be sure that matriarchy is the only way to show, to reach the prosperity and welfare of the society? Thank you a lot for your attention.
Fireman. So, let's think of this word. Fireman. Men. Team proposition said that, oh, women are very responsible. For example, let's pretend the fire. Men think, oh my god, I don't know what to do. But why all those firemen are men? And now my duty will be to rebuttal the case of proposition, to defend our own case and continue our team line, therefore to make you sure that matriarchy is a myth, and therefore women are not so responsible as team proposition states for. And they are just living in a dream, because and I'm going to tell about that in my speech. Firstly, about the refutation. Let's start from the very beginning. Women are heard by law, dear ladies and gentlemen. That's completely true, and that proves the point that women rely on their emotions. But that's what we're talking about. Men have more critical thinking. They think of the problem globally, not like women do. They do. Oh my God, I feel like I'm not feeling so good now. Okay, I'll just take that result or that one result. And then think, okay. If I do like that, that will be so. If I do like that, that will be so. So they just put everything on the weight and take the right decision, not like women do. So, also, the argument about the responsibility. Dear ladies and gentlemen, they just try to mess you up. That is not the responsibility. That is the maternal instincts. Women are responsible for their children, dear ladies and gentlemen. They love them, they do care of them. But who cares of those women? Yes, please.
Can you give the definition of what do you mean by maternal instinct? Doesn't it mean that it is responsibleness for your child?
Yes, of course. It is responsible for the child, but not for every those things that women are responsible for the world, for the peace in the world, and etc. They are responsible for their children, dear ladies and gentlemen. And what is more important, who are responsible for those women? Those are men, dear ladies and gentlemen. They do work, they provide families with financial resources, they provide those families with money, with food, with clothes, and etc. Therefore, men are more responsible than women, and the whole responsibility is on the man. Yes, please.
Then what can you say about the families where the only single women live with several child?
Single case, dear ladies and gentlemen. Not so much people with, where there is no father or mother, therefore we're not going to take it into consideration. So,
Point of information, please.
no thank you. We also have an astrology battle of Mars versus Venus, dear ladies and gentlemen. I don't really think that astrology is such a very important science that it can prove them. Okay. I just have a horoscope for today that we are going to win the Dnipro Open 2013, so I can rely on it. Of course not, but anyway, we're going to.
Sir, don't you think that you confuse astronomy and astrology?
Okay, of course. Astronomy is the science which is studying the how do those stars are rolling in the how's that? Yes, in the space. And astrology is that okay, women are that people that women rely to the Venus. They are more peaceful. They rely on love and emotion, etc. And that men are relying on Mars. Therefore, they're just rely on the war and etc. Also, speaking about the war, dear ladies and gentlemen, the war is an inevitable part of the people's nature. War is in our blood, dear ladies and gentlemen. Let's take into consideration the situation. If we continue going on like that, and in 30 years we will run out of the resources. What will be if everything will be peaceful? Okay, one country will have resources, another one will not. So they will, okay, we will stop our existence because we're peaceful. We don't want to lead the war to those resources. We don't want to live because we're peaceful. We are women, we rely on love and etc. Democracy is not so important nowadays. Therefore, we are talking about men who have practically whole responsibility on themselves. So, speaking about the next point of our team line is that matriarchy is the regress of the development. Especially nowadays, the matriarchy is so popular. For example, in Africa, in Masai Bubau. Oh yeah, that's it. So where is that Masai Babao? Does someone know here where it is? No, and me too. Because it's somewhere in Africa, nobody knows about that. And there is matriarchy. So also, the next point is the historically religious background, dear ladies and gentlemen. It's really hard to deny the fact that in previous years where the world was developing, the religion was one of the main points of the development of the government, dear ladies and gentlemen. If this government is relies on Christianity, so okay, we will cope with that. If it does not, we will not. So it proves that religion is really important. Therefore, let's take into consideration the Islam. Women in Islam are not in Muslim countries. They are not allowed even to show their face in the street, dear ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't that prove that women cannot take the power in their hands? Because that's the duty of men, dear ladies and gentlemen. Also, speaking about the... No, thank you, sir. Speaking about the women, they work according to the Christian theory of the family... No, thank you. Family life. The woman was created from the rib of man. Therefore, this proves the superiority of men over women. But it doesn't stand for that. Okay, we're men, we are more powerful, therefore we should violate our power. No, thank you. The duty of men is to defend women, because that's their duty. They are responsible for that. They are responsible for women. They are responsible for women with their children. No, thank you, sir. They're responsible for working. They're responsible, for example, as I've said, that war is inevitable. Responsible for defending their country from the invasions and etc. Therefore, what you have just heard from team opposition second speaker, dear ladies and gentlemen, I've attacked the case of team proposition now. I've shown you why they are wrong in their statement that matriarchy is so important. I've shown you why does women rely on emotions and love and why that's so bad and not like they are stating for and messing you up. The second point, I've defended our team line and continued it while showing you our next argument, which is called historical religious background. Also, so, women, yes, great responsibility on women. They are responsible for our children, they are responsible for children, and therefore they're responsible for future. But women without men will not do nothing. Men are responsible for children and for women. If there will be no men, there will be no children, there will be no children. But that's true anyway. Therefore, we do state that matriarchy is not the way to sustainably develop the state. Therefore, we beg you to oppose the motion. Thank you.
Was the person who helped you to make those first small steps, who helped you to begin to read, to count, who began to, who fed you? Who? That was the mother. That was the only person who was always here, nearby your hand. And that is a great improvement that the mother, from the beginning of our life and till to its end, is responsible for us and for us only. So that was such a lyrical part. And now I want to start with counter-argumentation.
Point, sir.
Oh, yes.
Your mother taught you to walk. My father taught me to play the debates.
But if your mother didn't taught you to walk, how could you come here playing these debates? I'll continue. Again, let's talk that our topic is not about that the male should be on the head because we'll live better than the topic is that matriarchy grants system of development of the state, and if you can, you should oppose it, but not proving that the female, that the male should stand in the head of this step. So then the next point is that you told us that male are more powerful, they're stronger, but there is clear evidence, scientists prove that women, for example, they have more stamina than the male have, and that gives them ability to burn people and etc.
The point, sorry.
Yes.
So why do all physical work is done by men but not by women?
Because female in the order are to bring you, feed you when you are working. They are to around the flat where do you live. They make you conditions where you can work. That is very important. Then you're talking so much. You're talking about those and this, but where are the examples? Where are even the statistics? There is no statistics. You said that, but it's like you're not sure in what you're saying because there are no examples. There is no evidence. Then you presented us the strange stereotype that the patriarchism is the only way in which the world can develop. I know why I think so. Because male never gave opportunity to female to control the country, to lead the country. If we give this opportunity, there is a great possibility and opportunity that we can live in much better. Then we're talking about this astrology, about the stars, but at the same point you are talking about that the women was made by from the rib. So we don't have to trust the stars, but we have to trust something that is even impossible. Do you understand? That is nonsense. The next point is everything we understood is that you are debating here today for several things. These are war, these are, I don't know, such a genocide, that gender, divided by gender. So how can we then, if you say that if you agree to our criteria that the prosperity and welfare of state is our aim, how can it be prosperity if there is a war all the time? We're fighting and fighting and fighting, people are dying and dying and dying. How can it be? No, sir. The second, the next point is about that village or whatever it is in the Africa. You said that nobody knows about it, but if you find it, it means that it exists, and it's not the worldwide country, maybe a small village. you don't know where do I live, in which, what village, but male is head there. So what's the difference then, if it's female or male? If you will take those small villages, you will not prove anything. But if you take the great countries like Germany, like Philippines, then you can prove something. And we did this and we proved it. That was something. And also the strange words about, you said, if there was no male, there was no children. But if there were not female, children will also be absent here. Dear ladies and gentlemen, this point is relevant because male and female, they enrich each other, and we cannot talk about the total dying out of kind. And even in our definition, we told that we are not for those fact that female should be the only head. We are talking that they can be given more possibilities to control any occasions. And then let me come back to our team line. So the topic we're discussing today is very actual, and its name is Matterhip Grants Sustainable Development of the State. So, and during all the game, with all our proofs, with all our arguments, we were trying to prove a single statement that we want our country to be prosperous and we want to live in welfare state. And how do we prove it? We presented some arguments. The first was that naturally women are more peaceful. The second, that women are more responsible. And the third one is that women are not only care not only about material things, but also about mental and moral development. So here we can see that as the part of any culture, the moral is also very important. And exactly the women are those ones who help us to develop this moral part of our spirit. So, in conclusion, I want to say that when you are talking about such things, remember that that was the mother who gave you life, and you should respect it. And thank her for any opportunity she gave you. Thank you.
Yes, please.
How can you be sure that men can be responsible for the whole world?
You know, ma'am, it's like a status quo. You see, we have in Russia 6% of women being in the parliament. We have 8% of women being in parliament in Georgia. We have 10% of women being in parliament in Ukraine. And now you can see that almost 90% of people who are sitting in the parliament are men. And now, dear ladies and gentlemen, it's getting obvious that 90% of men rule the world. And it's obvious, you cannot deny this in any way. Now, dear ladies and gentlemen, also we've been talking about that, about the fact that women obviously have more stamina, and this was proved by, I don't know, one research, it doesn't actually matter. However, dear ladies and gentlemen, we believe that the second speaker of the team proposition will never lift a weight in 200 kilograms. And all the records, all the world records in sports are done with are done by men. Men running faster, men jump higher, and it's obvious, you cannot deny this. Now, they said that women gave us our life. Now, to some certain extent, they're right, they're correct. However, dear ladies and gentlemen, this would never be possible with the help of men. Well, it's getting like a kind of absurd. Now, women are the people who help us to develop our spirit. Now, dear ladies and gentlemen, we agree that women is just a part of a family. Women should have their place in family. Women, not on the kitchen, okay? It's not about this. It's just all about family. Yeah, we agree that women are very responsible. However, they should be responsible for the family. Now, dear ladies and gentlemen,
Well,
let me move to my constructive matter and talk about everything that you have seen from our side of the debating. Yes, please.
Don't you think that the family is the main part of the whole society?
No, madam, we think that it actually doesn't relate the motion because it's all about the development of the country. Even if the women are the main part of the society, even they are so cool, then why do we have 90% of men sitting in the parliament? Then why it's actually so? Can you please clarify our team proposition? It's actually not related to the motion. No, thank you, sir. Now, first of all, we started the debate by saying that there is that our first argument is that it's not just because it's all about the historical religious background, dear ladies and gentlemen. We have the mountain in Greece called Afon, where ladies and women in general are not allowed to enter. We have a myth that women was created of the man's rib. We have Masai Bubai tribe in the South Africa, or actually, yes, please, sir.
You said about myth. You really sure that it's right, that it is true?
Yes, of course, sir. You see, the problem is that you cannot deny this. Nobody knows what's actually the theory of creating a human, and it actually doesn't actually relate to emotional. Thank you, sir. Now, moving on to our second argument, we said that it's all about the biological superiority of man. It's like completely undeniable that men have more physical power, and like it's obvious that all the world records in sport are done by men. And yeah, of course, there are some women who are actually participating in world sports. However, the highest jumps are done by men. The fastest runs are done by men, and these are not deniable. Now, then we've been talking about the fact that critical thinking is like more appropriate nowadays in terms of surviving. I don't know. We are talking about the fact that men have more critical thinking being developed. On the contrary, women have no. Thank you, sir. On the contrary, women are just led by love, and this was stated by the side of proposition. And now, dear ladies and gentlemen, let's imagine that we are having a fire in this audience right now. And what should we do? Of course, the team opposition, no thank you guys, team opposition will try to save all the women, including the second speaker of the team proposition, in order to continue our debate in society. Otherwise, it will be impossible to continue debates among such excellent debaters. Now, dear ladies and gentlemen,
information.
Yes, please.
So you're really sure that running 100 meters in 8 seconds will help us to get prosper in society?
It's all just about to prove you, dear ladies and gentlemen, that women do not have such a great physical stamina as women have. This was firstly mentioned by you, dear guys, so it's actually undeniable. No, thank you, sir. And so we've been talking about the fact that matriarchat is a regress of process. Now, dear ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about the Masai Bubai, which nobody actually knows. However, here in Ukraine, where we have the patriarchy, we are sure that Ukraine is popular all over the world. However, on the contrary, what do we have with Masai Bubai? Nobody heard of it. Nobody heard its traditions. Nobody heard what it actually is. Now, dear ladies and gentlemen, in order to conclude my speech, I would like to say that we had today 3 arguments. The first one is the historical religious background. We have given you lots of myths, examples, and statistics which actually prove you, dear ladies and gentlemen, that it's all about the man to rule the world. It's all about the man to get our state to be sustainable and developed. Now, dear ladies and gentlemen, secondly, we've been talking about the biological superiority of men. We've been talking about the fact that men have more physical stamina and actually can handle any shock. And thirdly, dear ladies and gentlemen, we'll be talking about our second argument, which states the following: matriarchat is a regress of development. Thank you.
Thank you for your speech. Now, please, the last speech from the side of opposition.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, what did we hear from the side of opposition today? That men, they run faster, they jump higher, and that is why women cannot rule the country. Is it okay? It's just an absurd. They said that they are more physically educated, more physically prepared, and that is the main reason why only men should care about the whole country at all. actually, what do you, your physical building doesn't mean a lot if you are not a clever person, if you are not an intelligent person, if you have nothing but just to jump higher and run faster in your mind. And I would like to say that there was a question during the speech of one of our opponents, and they said, so if women are so cool, why didn't they make a research which proves that they are so really good, so really responsible? I'll answer this question. They just don't want to flatter themselves. We all know that women are really, really nice, and the female are mostly much more pretty and much more nice. And if women would do such a research, it would be just a flatter to themselves. During the speeches of our opponents, they said a lot about the myth of how a woman was made. Okay, but you now think that a woman is a bad side of revolution, it's a regressive revolution, but how it can be if the main material of which it was made, according to their speech, was the man? So the woman came from man, and now it regressed. How it can be, and how it can be possible, and how can we, during our serious speeches, rely on myths which shows that one creature was made from another, from a part of another creature. And all of their speeches, all of their arguments, all of their groups were actually stereotypes. We all know that stereotypes is the worst thing in the world because nothing harms the society more than stereotypes. If you don't know how you should do in this situation, for example, and you think, okay, most people think like that, so I will also think like that. It's just a stereotype that women are stupid, maybe, that women are so bad and much more worse than boys and males are. And also they said about Masai Babai, and there are a lot of, and the head of the government there is woman, but it doesn't show that woman, that matriarchy there is really bad, has a bad effect. I can also name you one country, it's named Dnipro, and the prime minister of this country is a man. So does it mean that men are so stupid that nobody knows about matriarchy is really bad? No, it doesn't show you. You are just no. There are big problems, and you look just at one of them. In every single case, you can find something that you can look and say, oh, that is why matriarchy is really bad. Sorry. So. He also said. I just need 15 seconds to okay, please. And you also said that 96% of members of parliament in Russia are men, but the ruler of the Germany is woman. And just compare where and in which situation Russia is and in which situation Germany is.
Our son is walking! Oh, I don't care. I'm making the dishes. I don't know. I don't want to see that. I should feed you. I should feed our children. I should feed all of the world. Oh, son, better! Oh. Dear ladies and gentlemen, that's the typical situation. What happens in an average family nowadays, dear ladies and gentlemen. So, as being the first speaker of team opposition, moreover, being a man today, I would like to prove you why does the matriarchy is not so beneficial for the society. So, what about the clashes? We were talking about the weightlifting, running, and etc. We started our first our main point was that biologically, men are more are stronger than women. So men are therefore the men are responsible for defending the women. Therefore, this responsibility comes to men, and women have that stamina. So why do women have that stamina? When people were in, I don't know, maybe in the ancient times where we had no civilization, no infrastructure, nothing we had, so children would have been lifted by their mothers on their heads. Therefore, women should, that proves that main purpose from that time was that women should take care of children. Therefore, this is their main responsibility, but not ruling the world, dear ladies and gentlemen. Team Proposition today is living in the utopian society where there will be no war, there will be only peace. Therefore, women can easily rule that government. But what when another government invades in and says, "We're going to fight you"? What will that women do? Oh no! What are we supposed to do? Call the men. We should defend. Call the policeman. Oh no! What should we do? Oh no! I'm scared. So that's what the man should do. The main point of Team Opposition is not that patriarchy rules and not the illegitimate. The main point is that women should not leave the responsibility of men on themselves. That was been proved by our first three speeches, which this was not rebutted by Team Proposition properly. This has not been reacted, therefore, this point comes to Team Proposition. Also, I've rebutted what responsibility do those women have. They have that maternal instincts, which caused the confusion from Team Proposition. This is the responsibility of women to take care of the children, and the responsibility of men to take care of women and their children. Therefore, the men have more responsibility. Also, the Team Proposition was speaking that men, that they are equal, they have to combine and make something good. But, dear gentlemen, 30 combines very good with 70, and we will get 100. That's a very good example. For example, that 30% are women. That 70% responsibility are men. That if they are combined, there is 100 responsibility. So therefore, that was proved by our third speaker in his speech, that 8% in Armenia, 6% in Georgia, and etc. That the people who are ruling the country, who are making the crucial and essential decisions, are men. People who women, children, veterans, and etc. rely on are men who are representing their interests and etc. Therefore, this point comes to Team Opposition today. And also, we were speaking about the religion, but Team Proposition was pathetic on that. She said, "Oh, we cannot know for sure." But in my second speech, I've claimed that in those times where the world was developing, the civilization was developing, the religion was the crucial point, and everyone believed in that. And that was the main the way how the society was rolling on. Therefore, everyone believed that and lived on those rules. Therefore, this was the crucial point, and the debate comes to Team Opposition today. Guys, vote for men. Thank you.